Please don't try this at home. Look at that. This stove is literally electric. I'm on my lunch break again. What a spot. I've got a new stove to try out. Thought I'd put it through its paces. Cook up some beef stir fry style kebab kind of thing. Forest mushrooms. Some wraps. Yeah, come on. Need two hands. Oh, that's why. Blocking the exit. Here we go. So I was out in the woods last week and I used the Goshawk stove and it was a little bit wild. I put a picture on Instagram and Johnny from Lofi dropped me a message and said, well, I'd like to try out their new stove. I actually knew I've seen it on people's videos now, probably a year ago. So I watched some more videos, did a bit more research, thought why not? Looks interesting. So the stove is a wood gasifier stove, but it's got a little trick up its sleeve which I'll show you in a minute. It's really lightweight for this kind of thing. It is, I think they're marketing it as a backpacking stove. I think it weighs around 125, 150 grams. I'll put it on the screen, but it's got a very neat trick up its sleeve. It's electric. So from what I've seen, the stove runs on small bits of wood. You can use wood pellets, that cat litter kind of stuff. I've even seen them cooking with this using sheep dung, a packet of Doritos as fuel. They've even cooked noodles using dried noodles as fuel, and it all works fine apparently. Seems like a waste of noodles though. Let's go and find some free fuel. That didn't take long, did it? I don't think I'm going to need any more than that. Chop this down into more manageable pieces. So apparently it works best in thumb-sized pieces. This might be a little bit damp, but it'll work fine, I'm sure. Oh, this is like a ratchet snippers. Much easier than messing around with your little saw. Anyone else pull funny faces like this when they're cutting stuff? Yeah, that's going to have to do for now because I can't wait to get this fired up. Right, I'm going to put some of these slightly larger ones in the bottom. Oh. This is an ember guard, you'll see what that's for in a minute. I got some little twiggy bits on top. This might be a little bit damp, but we'll see how it goes. So I've brought some of these. Got a little tin as well. They do lots of cookware and pots and stuff like that. I'm using it to store these things in. See if it cuts that. Oh, it does, look. I'm only going to use a quarter. Hopefully that's enough to get things started. Fluff it up a bit. Here we go. Just rest that in there. A couple more little twigs on top. Right, time to plug it into the mains. When I say mains, you just use a power bank. So you plug this into here. I think they are developing a cable for Android phones that runs directly off your phone. So it doesn't take much power at all, but you just need something. There's a little fan in there, waterproof and heat resistant, but you do have to use it with the fan. If you don't use it with the fan, I think the stove can get too hot and burn out. There we go. And then there's a controller on here. where you can set it to low or high. I'm just going to start on low. It's lit. Just leave it to get a bit of heat going. Let's just turn the juice up a bit, see if it makes any difference. It's like having built-in bellows. But apparently the bottom of the stove, even when it's roaring, doesn't get hot at all, but we'll test that. So far so good. Starting to roar a bit now, look. See if that ember guard fits on. Ooh. That's more like it. If you turn it down, the flame goes down as well, look. Perfect for a simmer, that. Might as well get kettle on then, haven't we? You can see the ember guard doing its thing, stopping any little sparks escaping. It's only been on a minute. Brew, then some lunch. Nearly boiled. Like a little furnace in there, look. There we go. I think I've got some chocolate sprinkles. Cappuccino after all. If you're going to do it right. There's a song there, isn't there? I won't sing it. Let's load up again. Anyone hungry? So the fan keeps the bottom of the stove cool, so you don't get any scorch marks on the ground. Please don't try this at home. Look at that. This stove is literally electric. Yeah, absolutely do not recommend picking the stove up. Look at the burn. But it's nice to know you're not going to burn the ground. Definitely wouldn't put this in a tent. Right, let's get cooking, shall we? Bit of butter. Woodland mushrooms. Oop. It's going to get cooked. That'll do, I think. Add a few little bits of birch branch. Let's get the mushrooms in the pan. Turn that down a bit. So cooking over a flame, it's not as controlled as gas, but it's a lot more fun. Just have to lift the pan off a bit. They are browning up nicely. This is the main event. I've not made this myself, got it from the butcher's. Spicy beef stir fry. Let's get it in the pan. Oh, that smell. Smell that. See, that's the technique. You've got to let your wood burn down a little bit, then you can get more of a controlled flame. It's all about getting the flame right to start off with, I think, with wood. If I'm cooking steak normally, I just get it down to charcoals, but this is a small burner, so you can't always do that. Look at that. Probably enough for two if you want to share. Maybe not. I reckon that's good enough for me. Just let the rocket burn out itself. Not brought garlic mayo or cheese. A bit of cheese would go nice on this, wouldn't it? Get a bit of red pepper on. These are only little wraps, so I'll probably end up wearing most of it. Not convinced you'd like it. So I've done quite a few of these coming out for lunch videos now. So I would like to put a challenge out there to you guys. Get outdoors and have your lunch. Take a video of it, take a photo of it, tag me in it on Instagram, Facebook or on YouTube. Use the hashtag lunchwithpaul, and yeah, I'd like to see what you get up to and what lunches you can come up with. Right, while I've eaten, that is burnt out. Don't need any more power on there, so we'll unplug it. See how much ash is left, shall we? This is cold to the touch. There is, wow, nothing. It's so efficient. You just pour it out onto there, look. There's your ash. All gone. I'm going to look forward to putting this through its paces in different situations. So I've seen where the owner, creator, Johnny, he's used this at like 3,000 meters or whatever up in the Alps. I think he's using wood pellets, but you can usually find something to burn. Although, like I said, I will not be using this inside my tent. I do need to say that although this is small, contained, probably the safest wood stove that I've used, it's still a little fire, so you don't want to be using any wood stove in dry grass. Never leave a wood stove unattended or use one inside your tent. But if you're careful with it, you can have a lot of fun. And it's a great way to cook your beef stir-fry wraps. Anyway, I need to scatter some of my dead wood. Feed it back to the forest. Getting some use out of this man bag. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.